One thing, guys, while others are joining, understand one thing. The concepts of Azure, or it could be any technology, or uh, irrespective of the technology, it could be anything. Learning things in isolation, it's not going to give you a complete solution. If you have a business problem and if you're looking for a technical solution, you'll have to combine few things. So now, once I'm done explaining this as availability zone and availability set, uh, let's see that how this is going to help you. Now you answered very fruitfully that okay, to have multiple to have multiple servers for one application, we can use this, we can use that, but how that is going to impact or how that is going to work actually practically when it comes to your live environment, when it comes to your application. Let's see if that helps. Okay, so focus and keep that in your mind, that only one technology or one solution, it's not going to help you. You'll require a combination of them, and that is what we are going. First we are going to learn them in isolation, and then we are going to learn them in the combination. But the ultimate solution you are going to get only once you learn the combination of them. If you learn only availability set or availability zone, it is not helping you at all. And I'll show it to you how. I'll put some questions in front of you guys, and then you will understand that no, this is not going to help you. But before that, let me complete the explanation. I'm still waiting. I see few people are joining. Okay, I guess we have enough quorum. Let's start. Right. So I hope availability set is clear to everyone. Availability zone is clear to everyone. Data center, it's clear to everyone. Anyone who still has confusion? I'll take that as a no. Okay, here it is. This is your data center, guys. This is your data center. It could be one building, two building, that's fine. और यहाँ पर जो बताया, this is one building and this is your जनरेटर रूम वगैरह ऐसे कुछ होता है. So this is your data center. Okay, so even if you have one data center somewhere, that will be called your Azure region. So what is the condition to be called Azure region? It should have at least minimum one data center. One or more it's fine, but minimum should be one data center. That is your Azure region. Okay, now Azure region with availability zone. Now, do we have to discuss about Azure region with availability set? Can we have a data center without availability set?
No.
Okay, so all
No.
data centers will have availability set, even if it is your
No.
on-prem data center, personal data center भी होगा ना, 25 से 30 server का, they will also make sure maybe they won't have multiple power source, but they will have generators. Some sort of alternate will be there for power and some sort of alternate will be there for ISP. So availability set by default sub mein hota hai. So don't worry about that. Okay, so every region and every data center will have availability set. No question on that. Hence, we are not discussing. The next level of high availability, it is availability zone, where in one region, for example, this is your Pune region. Yeah, this is your Pune. Excuse me for the writing, guys. This is your Pune region. So for this region to be called that a region with availability zone, what is the minimum requirement?
One data center, at least.
No, availability zone.
3 data center.
Yeah, minimum 2 or more than 2 data center, but normally you will see 3. But even if
At
there are
least
2 data centers, it is an availability zone. It's not necessary to have 3, but most of them, and in fact all of them, have 3. Clear?
yes.
But here if you let me see what the definition says. Okay, here it says minimum 3. We'll have to check what it says on the Microsoft website. Is it 3 or 2? Whatever it is, but it has to be more than 1. Or let's stick to 3. That's okay. No one is going to mark you down in your interview for that. So for a region to be called a region with availability zone, what is the minimum requirement? To have 3 data centers or 3 availability zone. Is it clear till here, this explanation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How many regions do we have in Azure? Approximate?
60?
Okay, 60 plus, yes. Do you think all of them have availability zone?
No.
No.
No, right. So few of them. If you remember, I told you the region ka jo wo globe par, the region shows blue, and few regions they show purple. So the purple one, they show that it has an availability zone in this region. This could be one of the parameter जहां पर आप region select करते हो. That my application, I'm staying in Nagpur and I want to host an application, and I can select a data center, Azure data center in Pune or Mumbai. Which one will I select? This could be the parameter. I'll check if Pune's region has availability zone, if that is my requirement, or Mumbai region has. Okay, Mumbai region has, Pune doesn't have. So let's go ahead with Mumbai because that is my requirement. I'm just sharing an example with you that this could be one of the parameters while selecting the region. You remember you create a machine. Let me open the portal now. You create a machine and I told you not to change anything except for few details. So we are taking whatever default region comes to your page. But as of now, we are just taking it default. When it goes to production environment, you're not taking the default. There's a huge study behind it that which region are you taking. There are n number of conditions and n number of factors are there that which region are you taking. You don't have to worry about them, but you should know at least. So if I'm creating a new machine here, this is the region I'm talking about, guys. You see how many regions are there? And not all of them have your availability zone available. Where can you see if availability zone is there or not? That I'll show it to you. जब यहाँ पर आते हैं हम लोग इस portal पे आते हैं, I'll explain it to you. So don't worry about that. You don't have to remember that list. It is somewhere on the portal. By clicking, by just with the help of few clicks, you will come to know whether this region has availability zone or it doesn't have. Clear till here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this point, dedicated low latency network. What does it mean? It means that these 3 data centers or these 3 availability zones, they are connected with each other with very low latency network. Now we don't have to define what is low. Azure is saying low, it's okay. You call it low. Getting it? वैसे लो मतलब बहुत ही ज्यादा कम लेटेंसी जिसमें होती है ना. Now again, I call it calm, I call it low. I don't want to quote any number because that wouldn't be correct. We don't have any official number here, so I don't want to give any official number. Though the numbers you will get sometimes, but they keep on changing. Hence, don't get into that. और कोई पूछ भी नहीं रहा है आपको. Unnecessary you quote incorrect number कि low latency का मतलब हुआ इतना millisecond की latency bandwidth. Don't do that. Don't get into that. Okay, you just have to remember this keyword, low latency. That should be enough for your interviewer. Clear hai? For your own knowledge, yeah, please go ahead and read what Azure means when it says low latency. अब उसका क्या benchmark रखा है? They keep on changing that. What is it now? For your knowledge, it's good. And if you're sure about that कि यार मैं interview परसों है, मैं आज ही पढ़ के आया हूँ, I'm sure कि मेरे interviewer को भी नहीं पता होगा, but I know this, then say it. It's okay. But if you're not sure, don't have to get into this. That's okay. So the connectivity between these 3 data centers, it is based on low latency network. And this is not using internet. Most of the time, it is using Azure backbone network. It is not dependent on your internet. Azure का अपना खुद का जो है ना fiber optic या किसी भी तरह का केबल उसने लीज लाइन ले रखी है, whatever they have done, it is Azure's own connectivity. मतलब इस पे कोई और लोड नहीं है. आप जो इंटरनेट यूज कर रहे हो उसी केबल को Azure शेयर नहीं कर रहा है. They have their own infrastructure. So if one is in Magarpatta, one is in Hinjewadi, the another one is in Chakan. So these 3 are connected with low latency network. Why do we need low latency network? We'll come to that. But is this clear to you? Is this sentence clear? Till here it is clear?
Yes.
Anyone, any doubt? Now I'm not going to repeat availability set. You will require these topics again, but I'm not going to explain this again. Availability set, availability zone, low latency, region with availability zone. Are these jargons clear, guys?
Yes,
Yes.
Sohail bhai. Yes.
Okay. So here we are done with Azure geography. This is nothing. This we'll discuss later. Data centers we're done. Availability zone we are done. Okay. Pair region we'll discuss later. It mostly come to picture when we discuss about storage. Okay. What other thing you have to know about availability zone? Okay. Availability zone, when you take a machine in availability zone or an application you're running and you're taking 3 machines on availability zone, then Azure promises an SLA of 99.99%. If you take an application, you say that, okay, I want to host an application. You tell Azure, I want to host an application. Azure says, fine. Either you take one data center, okay, and if something goes wrong, I'm not responsible, though they are responsible, but not 99.99. It's 95 point something that you get. Again, these numbers, they get changed. So never ever read from this one note. इसको हमेशा आप वहाँ website पे जाकर ही check करोगे. 99.99 वाला, it's there from a long time. That is the reason we have kept it. Other numbers. Let's say that I'm taking only one data center. I'm not taking any high availability. So the SLA, it's different. What do you mean by SLA? कि आपका application आप रखोगे, ठीक है, but ultimately your application is hosted on a server, right? And where is that server? Somewhere here in this data center. So something can go wrong. Maybe light जा सकती है, power off हो सकता है, कुछ भी हो सकता है. So based on that, Azure has said that my responsibility is 95%, or whatever that percent is. You can check that later, or you can still quote 95. That is fine. So how many hours there in 1 month? This is monthly, by the way. Okay, this is monthly. So approximately, I guess 730 hours होते हैं कुछ month में. 730 hours. So if they are saying that we are promising कि 95% आपका application up रहेगा. So what are they saying? That in a month 693 hours आपका application up रहेगा for sure. Is it clear, guys? Are you getting it or are you getting confused? They're saying कि यार 36 hours जो है ना वो डाउन टाइम हो सकता है if you are taking no redundancy. 36 hours एट अ स्ट्रेच कभी नहीं होगा. पूरे महीने की बात चल रही है कि आज 1 घंटा डाउन था यार, कभी 4 घंटे डाउन हो गया. बट दिस इज व्हाट दे आर प्रॉमिसिंग. एंड if it goes more than 36 hours, they are liable to deduct your bill or they are liable to pay you something. वो सारा agreement में होता है. You don't have to worry about that. You need to understand the SLA concept here. Is it clear, guys? Are you getting it? Why so silent? Yes, no, maybe, confusion?
थोड़ा सा एलेबरेट करेंगे प्लीज
Getting
सोहेल भाई.
हाँ, अभी तो शुरू किया हमने, elaborate तो करेंगे, but are you getting the concepts? SLA
Yes,
concept पता
yes.
है सबको? First question.
Yes. SLA का फुल फॉर्म क्या है?
Service level agreement.
Good. See, if
Okay.
someone doesn't know, guys, do ask. I'm not gonna say कि यार ये basic question कहाँ से आ गया है, ये तो हर call center में भी होता है. No, we are not saying that. If you don't understand anything, do ask. Yes, SLA is your service level agreement. What is that? It is just a full form I have given. Let me explain it to you now. What is it? That I am hosting an application with Azure. मैं एक application host कर रहा हूँ Swiggy with Azure. Now Azure says that if you take no redundancy service from me, when I say no redundancy का मतलब क्या हुआ? ना ही availability set आपने लिया और ना ही availability zone आपने लिया. That is your no redundancy. Remember these 3 words, guys. ये पोर्टल पे दिखने वाले हैं आपको. And I'm sure इतने machines आपने बनाए हैं, आप लोगों ने देखा भी होगा. No redundancy, availability set, and availability zone. These 3 words you will be, these 3 jargons you will be seeing on your portal. So Azure says that if you have taken, if you're hosting an application with me without any redundancy, I can promise you 95% SLA. मंथली SLA 95% का मतलब क्या होता है? 95% का मतलब अगर मंथ में 730 आवर्स है तो 730 आवर्स का 95% जो है आपका एप्लीकेशन हमेशा अप रहेगा, जो अप्रोक्सीमेटली 693 आवर्स आता है। बट 5% जो है विच इज 36 आवर्स डाउन हो सकता है। क्यों? मे बी Azure has its own maintenance, मे बी ये कनेक्टिविटी जो यहाँ पर ISP की आ रही है, दिस कनेक्टिविटी इज जस्ट टू कनेक्ट ईच अदर्स डेटा सेंटर, बट इंटरनेट वगैरह की भी तो कनेक्टिविटी होगी, डिपेंडेंसी होगी ना Azure की भी। डोंट फॉरगेट गाइस, इवन इफ इट इज अ क्लाउड या कुछ भी हो, अल्टीमेटली वो भी एक डेटा सेंटर ही है। इट इज जस्ट दैट यू आर नॉट हैंडलिंग इट, यू आर नॉट वरीड अबाउट इट। आपका टेक्नीशियन जाके उसको नहीं सुधारने वाला है, but ultimately it is a data center. They have same issues, they have ISP issue, they have electricity issue, they also have rack, वहां पे भी कोई चूहा होगा, कोई नेटवर्किंग की केबल कट कर सकता है। एवरी इश्यूज जो आपके डेटा सेंटर में थे, एवरी इश्यूज आर स्टिल देयर। द ओनली थिंग इज दैट यू आर नॉट वरीड अबाउट देम। क्लियर? सो SLA, Azure says that I am claiming 95% SLA, which means 693 hours monthly आपका एप्लीकेशन अप रहेगा, ये मेरी गारंटी है। 36 आवर्स कुछ हो सकता है। okay? क्या हो सकता है? मे बी इनका डेटा सेंटर अपग्रेड चल रहा है, डाउन है, मे बी आपको जिस फिजिकल सर्वर पे आपका वर्चुअल सर्वर बना हुआ है, आई होप यू रिमेंबर दैट सेशन नाउ वेयर वी डिस्कस दैट we have physical servers and there is a virtualization layer and then your virtual servers are installed on that. Do you remember that, guys? If not, please go back and watch that video.
वर्चुअल मशीन के बारे में ना बता रहे आपने।
Right. So your
यस
virtual
यस
machine,
रिमेम्बरिंग।
your virtual machine, ultimately it is hosted on a hardware, on a server hardware. I hope you remember that, right? If we go back here,
यस वी रिमेम्बर।
okay. So this is the ultimate server which we have, guys. Server hardware. सबसे lowest layer ये है, right? This is the lowest layer. इस तरह के servers आपके सारे जो लगे हैं server rack पे, these are the racks. और इस तरह के कई racks मिलके बन रहा है आपका data center. And obviously इसके साथ network cable वगैरह बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. This is your data center. Just to make you understand, I'm quickly repeating it. I hope this is clear to you as of now. This is rack. Within racks we have servers, और servers के ऊपर जो है हम अपने virtual servers बनाने वाले हैं. So how it works? Even if it is cloud, this is your server. इस server को virtually divide कर रखा है using maybe Microsoft technology Hyper-V or using vSphere, VMware, किसी भी टेक्नोलॉजी को यूज करके इसको virtually divide कर रखा है. Not necessary that इसको equally divide करना है. We had this discussion in detail. You can watch that video. So let's say that your server is hosted on this machine. Okay, for you it is on cloud, but somewhere it is someone else's computer. It's a joke in IT that cloud is nothing someone else's computer. So it is there. It is lying there. So maybe उनके data center का maintenance, maybe networking का maintenance, और maybe ये particular server जो है ना, इसका fan उड़ गया, ये पूरा server ही down हो गया. Obviously इसके ऊपर जो जितने और machines हैं वो भी जाएंगे, but your machine is also gone, right? So considering these factors, what Azure says that if you take a service from me, if you host an application on my portal, and if you're not taking any redundancy service, then I'm claiming an SLA, a service level agreement of 95%. Is it clear, guys, to everyone?
Yes.
Yes,
So
sir.
Okay.
Yes.
If you take, now he says that if you take the same application with me with availability set, then I am offering 97% of SLA. Why do you think it just increased? Why Azure is so confident now? ऐसा क्या हुआ availability set में?
Because you are
high
having backup
availability
servers.
capability.
Sorry, one at a time, please.
Availability. You have more servers for one application
Yes.
in
What was
same
the other
data
question?
center.
What was the other answer? Hussein,
Due to
was it
the
you?
high availability on
Yes.
within the data
Yes.
single
But
data.
do you think the SLA is fine now? And do you think the charges will be same? Is Azure doing any charity? Is he gonna charge
No,
you?
no, no.
Of course,
Obviously
Charge
they will
more.
charge.
Charges
यहाँ पर हम
most.
एक सर्वर यूज कर रहे थे. The moment you say availability set, it could be 2, it could be 3. जितने भी सर्वर्स आपने ले रखे उसके हिसाब से चार्जेस होगा. Is it clear, guys? Now the
Yes.
next version it says Azure that instead of no redundancy or instead of availability set, if you take availability zone from me for your application, I'm promising 99% 99 SLA, uptime SLA. Now did you understand the logic of this sentence?
Yes.
Same things are applying here. Now Azure is more confident because Azure knows, their engineer knows कि अब ये पूरा data center में चला गया, still they can give you high availability, they can give you. And see, Azure is promising only for infrastructure. आपके code में कोई error आ गया था, if you have written that application by your own, your developers have written that, sorry guys. So if your application is written by your coders और आपके कोड में कोई इश्यू है एंड आपका एप्लीकेशन नहीं चल रहा है, is Azure responsible for that?
No.
As of now, Azure is responsible only for the infrastructure. If you take software as a service from Azure, then Azure will be responsible. But then that is a different league. We are just talking infrastructure as a service here. Clear hai? So whatever we have taken from Azure, Azure is responsible only for that. So Azure will say कि ठीक है मेरा server down नहीं होगा, that is fine. But now here accordingly Azure is charging you. If you want to take this availability zone, minimum 2 servers भी लेते हो ना और 3 भी लेते हो तो at least 3 availability zone भी लेते हो तो 3 servers you are paying for them. Okay. Plus in availability set and availability zone, the difference I'll tell you one more charges के हिसाब से कि एक ही डेटा सेंटर में यहाँ पर और यहाँ पर अगर आपके 2 सर्वर है तो इनके बीच में डेटा सिंक कम होगा. कम एज इन क्विकली होगा. सेम नेटवर्क, सेम बैंडविड्थ, इमीडिएट वहीं पर केबल पड़ा हुआ है. इफ यू आर हैविंग सर्वर्स हियर तो इनके बीच में जो सिंकिंग होगा इसका डेटा का चार्ज भी आपको लगेगा. इट्स फाइन कि आप अवेलेबिलिटी सेट पे भी 2 सर्वर्स रख सकते हो, अवेलेबिलिटी जोन पे भी 2 रख सकते हो, बट डिस्टेंस एंड एवरीथिंग इट डज मैटर. यू डोंट हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड एवरीथिंग इन डिटेल, बट जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड द चार्जेस विल बी डिफरेंट. जैसे जैसे आपका सर्विस लेवल एग्रीमेंट का प्रॉमिस बढ़ेगा आपके चार्जेस बढ़ने वाले. इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीवन?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so now before I move ahead, I'll just quickly summarize few things. Availability, Azure geography we discussed, region we understood, okay, availability set we understood, availability zone we understood, SLA we understood. Now my question was that all regions, do they have availability zone?
No.
No.
All regions, do they have availability set?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
If I want to take a region, for example, Pune region, which has availability zone, I want to host my server, host my application in Pune region. It could be any reason, compliance reason. Let's say that I'm working with PMC, Pune Municipal Corporation, and they have said, okay, you can host this application for me on behalf of me. I'm outsourcing my business to you, but our requirement is that my data should not go beyond Pune. It should be in Pune's boundary. So here I have compliance, forget the IT and everything. I have compliance issues now. Can I go ahead and host it somewhere else? No, I have compliance issue. So I have to look for a solution which is there in Pune itself. So now I researched and I did everything and I think Azure X suitable hai. ठीक है, I will be able to host their application on behalf of them and I'll be able to save some money. इसमें मेरा पैसा भी निकल जाएगा. But now Azure, this one, Pune has availability zone. PMC says our application is not that important or maybe citizens are not important. That's fine. वो डाउन भी होता है तो चलेगा, सरकारी अप्रोच. इट्स ओके, डाउन होता है तो ठीक है, मुझको ज्यादा पे भी नहीं करना है, कोई हाई अवेलेबिलिटी नहीं चाहिए. दिन में 4 घंटे भी चल गया तो भी चल जाएगा, नहीं चलता तो दैट्स फाइन, पीपल विल कम बैक. दिस इज द अप्रोच लिटरली दे हैव. ठीक है. नाउ my question to you, I hope you understood the scenario. My question to you, can I host that application on a server in a region where I have availability zone, but I do not want to use that? So can I use that region without using availability zone feature? Is it possible?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is possible.
Yes,
You can select
it
this.
is
No.
Perfect. So I hope whoever answered, you guys are reading the portal when you create the machine. You do get an option, even if it is in the same region where availability zones are available, it is optional. You can select no redundancy required. It's clear
Yes,
to
sir.
everyone? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
this one paired region, it's a storage concept. I will be discussing that later when we discuss storage concept. Okay, in availability zone, we don't have to discuss anything else now. We'll go to portal and see. And before that, we have fault domain and update domain. Guys, if you're not able to understand this topic, leave it completely. I have not seen anyone asking this question, though it is important. I feel it is important. I ask this question if I'm hiring an Azure administrator. Okay, but if you don't understand, अभी तक जितने टॉपिक्स आप लोगों को समझ में आए हैं उससे कंफ्यूज मत होना. Okay, if you're not getting it, it's completely fine. I'm trying to explain it to you once. If you don't understand the fault domain in update domain, it's okay, just leave that topic. Clear? So let's talk about fault domain in update domain. Now let's say I have a data center or a region, you call it whatever. This one doesn't have availability zone. This one has availability set. This has 900 racks. I'm drawing only 9 racks. Telling you guys, if you don't understand, just leave it. बहुत ज्यादा इस पे फोकस करने की जरूरत नहीं है. I will still try to make it as easy as possible for you, but इसमें काफी confusion होता है. Murtaza, are you using pen on the screen?
Oh, I'm really sorry. I didn't know how that started.
That's
I'm
okay.
really sorry about that.
No, no worries. I thought you were trying to highlight something. Okay. So these are 900 racks we have, guys. Right? In सब में servers लगे होंगे. We understood the concept of availability set clearly कि किस तरह से हम इन 300 racks को इसका जो एक set बना रखा है set A, इस पे हम अलग से कोई ISP और अलग से कोई power supplier देंगे, इस पे अलग देंगे, इस पे अलग देंगे. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Now there is one more category to it, or one more segregation, I would say. The one which we discussed, guys, fault wala, ये 3 sets. Why did I create 3 every time? I'll tell you. Because when it comes to availability set, there are 2 more categories. One is fault domain and one is update domain. Try to remember it with name. Zyada easy hoga. Rest, if you have any other approach to understand or learn, feel free to do that. Fault domain. Now fault का मतलब क्या होता है? Fault domain का मतलब, first thing I'll explain it to you what is domain. In this aspect I'm just talking about. ठीक है, इसको बाहर वाले domain से, active directory वाले domain से, आपके website वाले domain से किसी से भी confuse मत होना. Okay, domain, there are plenty of explanation for domain. English का एक word है जिसके बहुत सारे use होते हैं. So I'm just talking in this concept. What is a domain here? Domain का क्या मतलब है यहाँ पर कि इस डेटा सेंटर के 900 रैक्स को 2 डोमेन में डिवाइड करना. One is fault domain, the another one is update domain. I'm sharing 2 numbers with you, remember them very well. वो change नहीं होते हैं. So the maximum fault domain you can have in Azure in an availability set. Understand the hierarchy, guys. Okay, you have availability set. Under availability set you have fault domain and update domain. यहाँ तक clear है? It is beneath that. इन दोनों के नीचे है वो hierarchy में. Okay, so update domain you can have maximum 20. Just remember the number as of now. It is there in my OneNote also. Update domain you can have maximum 20, and fault domain you can maximum have 3. That is the reason I have been drawing, or I have been giving example with 3 sets. You can have 2 also, but maximum you can have 3. This is your fault domain. Is it understood now, the fault domain? These 3 are your fault domains.
What are the units for those 3 numbers?
Unit as in?
Like let's say servers, racks, or data centers. What are the
No,
what is
3
the
set.
unit for it?
let's consider rack. We are considering rack.
Okay.
आप 3 सर्वर का भी बना लो, doesn't matter. आप एक रैक में 3 सर्वर का भी बना लो. These are 3 groups. You are creating them. आप 3 सर्वर अलग अलग बना, एक ही रैक रखो, उसमें 3 सर्वर ये कर लो. एक में टाटा का सप्लाई दे दो, एक में ओके, एक में आप टाटा का सप्लाई दे दो, एक में आप रिलायंस का सप्लाई दे दो. However pleases you.
So the ratio would go as 20:3 for update and fault.
No, maximum you can have it. It's not a ratio.
Okay.
It's a maximum you can have 20 update domains. Maximum you can have 3 fault domains. You can have 2 or 2 also. You can have 3 update domains and 3 fault domain also. Let me explain it to you now. Who are people who are getting confused? I haven't explained update domain yet, so don't worry. Fault domain, is it clear to you guys? If I have 900 racks, I have divided them into 300, 300, 300 each. These are your 3 fault domains. Not necessary to have 3, not necessary to have equal number. I have 600 racks. I can divide it in 400 and 200 also. These are my 2 fault domains. If I have 500 racks, I can have 400 in one group, 100 in another group, and that is my 2 domains, fault domains. Is this clear guys? At least fault domain. बाकी
Yes.
concept वही available होगा fault domain. What about others other than Murtaza? Anyone who did not understand, guys, forget update domain. I haven't discussed yet.
So fault domain, as you said, if there are 5 racks, then how we will be dividing that? By 3 and 2?
Up to you. Maximum you can have 3 fault domains. You have 5 racks.
Yes.
You 4 and 1. You do 2 1 1. You do 3 1 1.
But-
It's up to you. That there is no
But-
maths behind it.
Okay. But as you said, there is maximum 3, but how we can divide 4 by 1 then?
Sorry, didn't get your question.
You said something about 4 by 1, something. As you said, we can divide, if maximum is 3, then how we can divide 4 then?
No, you don't. It
If
doesn't
there are-
have to be equal number. It doesn't have to be equal number. You keep 2 racks in one domain. You keep 1 rack in one domain. You keep another rack in one domain. You have 4 racks. You keep it in 1 1 1 domain. So you have your 3 fault domains.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Let me explain it to you. That is the reason I told you it's not very important topic. If you don't understand, leave it. It's not worth spending time on that. Okay. So this is whatever we have been discussing now. I haven't added anything new. It is just that these 3 sets we were discussing, I am calling them fault domain. That's all. That's all I added. This example everyone understood very well. That here I will have my application. Here I will have my application. यहाँ से I will, if I want to host my server, I will host one server here. Here as in any of these rack. Another server here, any of these racks. Another server here, any of these racks. Is it clear to you till here? जो हमने अब तक discuss किया था. So these are nothing your
Yes.
fault domains. These are your 3 fault domains. Maximum you can have 3 fault domains. Minimum you can have 2 also. Clear?
Okay. Yes.
This is your fault domain. Now the next category we have is update domain. Now update domain, it's not something new or any new rack or nothing. बस इसी rack को एक और divide में, एक और चीज में divide कर दिया. Like this. And I'll tell you what it is. Update domain का मतलब क्या होता है. This one you can have maximum 20. 20 से ज्यादा update domain आप नहीं रख सकते हो. Okay. Now let me explain it to you. What is update domain? And maybe if you understand it well, otherwise we'll leave this. It's fine. If you really want to learn, एक दो YouTube videos watch कर लो. Still नहीं समझ में आ रहा है. It's completely fine to leave it. I'm saying it with my experience. हमने, or I'm not giving old examples. Till last till Friday. Yesterday we had interviews here in my classes. Students were coming here. हम लोगों ने interviews देखे भी है, record भी किए हैं. No one has been asked this question, so you can leave it. Now, what is fault domain? Fault अपने नाम से ही आपको पता चल रहा है that there is some fault. You are not doing it. Fault क्या हो सकता है? Electricity चलेगी, that is your fault. ISP चला गया, that is a fault. That is your fault domain. If you try to relate with this name, maybe you'll understand it. If no, it's okay, completely fine to ignore this topic. These are your fault domain. Fault domain का dividation हुआ है आपके कोई भी ऐसी चीज से which you haven't planned. Electricity जाना, you haven't planned that. ISP का down होना, you haven't planned that. Those are your fault domain. Now, update domain क्या है? It is nothing but a logical boundary or a logical grouping of some servers which will go down when I plan to take them down. Why would I plan to take some servers down? A very basic thing is your Windows update, patching. जैसे आपका एंड्रॉइड एप्पल फोन भी होता है, कोई नया सर्वर नहीं, कोई नया उस पर सॉफ्टवेयर आता है, यू अपडेट इट एंड देन इट विल रीबूट. 10-15 मिनट के लिए रीबूट होता है, तब तक के लिए आपकी अवेलेबिलिटी उस फोन की चली जाती है, राइट? सिमिलरली सर्वर्स के लेवल पे Azure भी उनको अपडेट करता रहता है, उसके सॉफ्टवेयर को अपडेट करेगा, फर्मवेयर को अपडेट करेगा, बहुत सारी चीजें होती है उसमें, उसके नेटवर्क कार्ड को अपडेट करेगा. आई एम जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट द सॉफ्टवेयर अपडेट. सो वो हर अपडेट के बाद सर्वर को रीबूट होना होता है. So till the time server is being rebooted, you are not getting that service. So somehow it is impacting your SLA. मतलब that is your server is not available. So what Azure does when it comes to fault domain, and fault domain और update domain को मिला के किस तरह से बनाता है वो, that if you are hosting one of your application here, तो आपका एक सर्वर जो है वो, एक सर्वर यहाँ पर इस fault domain में यहाँ पर रखेगा और यहाँ पर भी एक सर्वर यहाँ पर रखेगा. This is your one server. The another server it will keep in this fault domain, but in this update domain. इसके नीचे ऊपर कहीं पर भी, but not same. The third server it will keep here, but somewhere here. Now what will happen? कि एक तो किसी तरह का fault अगर होता है कि electricity चलेगी या ISP चलेगी, so still your servers are divided. अलग-अलग fault domain में है. These are your fault domains. These are your groups, separate groups जहां पर आपकी अलग ISP, अलग power supply है. So is any fault affecting your application?
No. No.
Similarly, जब वो अपडेट करेगा तब भी ये अलग-अलग ग्रुप में रखता है, ताकि अगर Microsoft when updates a server and Microsoft wants to reboot, so they will make sure कि इस लाइन के सारे सर्वर एक साथ रिबूट हो, and they will make sure कि इस लाइन में एक एप्लीकेशन के 2 सर्वर ना हो, 2 या 4 जितने भी हो, मतलब सिमिलर इसमें नहीं हो. So when they are updating something and when this line is getting rebooted, so you at least have another 2 servers available. This is not fault. This is update we are talking about. They do it manually. They control it. You guys, less than a minute is left. We'll rejoin at 3:30. We'll take a break of 5 minutes and then I'll try to explain it one more time. If it doesn't work, that's fine. If you don't understand well, don't worry about it. And then we'll go ahead and do a practical today for availability zone and machines. Or you want a break of 10 minutes to think about it?
Yes, please, 10 minutes.
Okay, see you at 3:35. Same link.